Hi friends, welcome to Shine with Marilena Cortez and Mark Sedgwick. Here we are, another day of the week, sharing with you, just sprinkling a few ideas and thoughts so we can shine bright in this world and be a light. Let's start with Mark Sedgwick and the quote of the day.
Hello everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome back. Got the leather jacket on. Got the nice window open here for you guys. So anyways, first off, I just want to say my mom's hair's growing. I just noticed that. I haven't really been paying attention, but your hair's getting longer. And I love the dress you got on.
Thank
so
you.
anyways, today's quote of the day goes like this. Peace is the result of training your mind to process life as it is right now, rather than as you think it should be. So what does that mean? It means that in order to receive peace in your life, it's probably advised to worry about what's going on right now, you know, in your present life, like whatever you're doing right now, to be focused in that, and that's how you'll find peace. If right now I was worrying about what I'm going to do later on today, I'm gonna be all these thoughts in my mind, and that's just going to throw you off and going to over-stress you, right? Stress is good. Over-stressing about other things in the future are going to throw you off your game. So I'm focusing right now, I'm focusing on my task at hand, which is providing value to you guys. So, yeah, what do you guys think about the quote of the day and peace?
By the way, we do have Jose with us this afternoon or this evening, so welcome Jose back to the show.
Welcome, Jose.
It's always great to have you.
That's
He's
good.
an awesome friend of the family. We've known him since fourth grade.
Fifth grade.
Or fifth grade.
Yeah,
Mark and,
since I was in fifth grade.
Jose, we're in fifth grade, yes.
Yeah.
Would you like to share first? And I'll
Yeah,
go
of
next?
course, no problem. So, like Mark was saying, that quote really is really good because it kind of tells you, don't worry too much about the future and the past, because if you're living there, you're going to miss the opportunities that you have in the present, what's in front of you. And I feel like that's really important because, sometimes you worry too much about the past or the future that you really don't see the special things that are right in front of you at the moment, and you can miss that thing.
Yeah.
Like the opportunities that are right there for you.
And talking about that, if you really stop and listen to the news, everybody's focusing on things that happen, and they are complaining, they're gossiping, they're yelling, they're screaming. A lot of the radio shows that sometimes I just, to happen to be turning the radio, I hear a lot of arguments, and it's like, okay, can we just find a peaceful station? So lately I've just been turning more into the Christian station, which gives me a little bit more peace and more joy. But one of the things I'm noticing is because people don't get to enjoy time of, like you guys are saying, the present, and enjoy their kids, seeing the smiles, watching their kids grow. Just the small little details that give us that peace and that joy, that inner joy is priceless. So I want to invite today everyone to please stop and maybe close your eyes and relax and say thank you. Yes, be thankful for the things that you have. Be thankful for the people that you have around you as well. When you are just going, and that was me a few years back, because I was just like going, teaching, trying to take care of my kids. I hardly ever had spent time with myself, and it was really hard for me to find that peace and that harmony. I was living life the best I could possibly live, but being a single mom, it was just, I was on the go, and I didn't find a lot of those peaceful moments where I could just sit and relax. So now I force myself to do it. I've been doing that for now more than 10 years. I feel like I do it. I force myself. I tell the kids, no, this is my time. Either I'm going to take my bath or I'm going to read my book, which, by the way, I really encourage everyone to read the four agreements. And I just got this as a gift, the fifth agreement. The sequel. I actually read the four agreements and the fifth agreement years ago, but every time you pick up the book, you always find some new ideas, some new things. So this is my way of finding my peaceful moments. But how can we help others? How can we help others? How can we help the world just reach more of that at a peaceful, harmonious level? Do you have any ideas, Mark, or do you want to comment on that?
Well, how to become more peaceful? Well, I think part of the thing in the news is that they're, like I said, they're over stressing about things, and of course on the news they're amplifying the moods because it's for entertainment as well, right? It's not
That's
only
true.
to convey information about what's happening today
Yes.
in our society, but it's also a business, right? You're supposed to entertain people, or else they're not going to want to watch, right? So of course they're going to be like, today's news, it's super horrible. The streets are crazy. Look outside. No, really,
Yeah.
it seems pretty calm outside, right? It's,
Yes.
they want to emphasize it, so you can kind of lose your peace as well. So you'll watch more. It's a business at the end of the day. So maybe news is not the best example because it's probably going to make you like
But-
a little bit hyper, right?
Well, I was even
excite
thinking
you.
like when you're driving, you get on that highway and you're just sitting there driving and somebody does something that you don't like. What do? You honk the horn, you start saying some really bad words that are coming out of your mouth. I hear it every time when I don't like to drive with other people or be a passenger because I like to be in control. So I usually invite everybody, hey, come with me, But when I happen to be on the passenger and I hear some of my friends or some of the people, kind of get a little too stressed over those little moments, it's like, just let it go. This person that cut you, what are you going to do? Number one, they can't even hear you, right, Jose?
Yeah.
They cannot hear you. So even if you say those things or think those negative thoughts, they don't even know. They just did that because maybe they're in a hurry. They're not living at the moment. They're just trying to get ahead. They're tired. They're stressed. And so I'm learning to, if somebody wants to cut me, I just let them actually cut me.
Yeah, just be
I'm more
peaceful about it.
inviting even on the freeway now because it serves me no purpose to get upset and get angry about something that's not even in our control.
Yeah, and it brings you down. And whenever you're down, whoever's around you is gonna, just naturally feel more down because of because
Yes.
you're with them. Negativity. It kind of illuminates just as
Oh, of
positivity does,
course.
right?
Like a
So-
snowball too. It just gets bigger and bigger, and the anger you get, the more you're gonna radiate that outside of you, and other cars are gonna start having other problems, issues, and who knows, you might even have an accident on the way home.
It's the law of momentum. The law of momentum, right?
Yes.
So Jose, what would you say about peace? Like maintaining your peace. How do you, Jose, maintain your peace? Because you're a very peaceful guy.
Oh, yeah.
So that's another reason why you're on the show right now, because you're a very peaceful guy. So I just want to hear it.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and share with you guys. So pretty much, like you had mentioned, like whenever you think of peace, one word comes to mind, and it's a very special word for me, and that is, calmness, tranquility, being calm.
Mm-hmm.
I notice a lot that whenever you don't have peace within yourself, you do things that you later regret. Like you were saying, somebody cuts you off, you start blowing something in there, and then if the other guy, then he starts going off, and then something bad happens. And then you're like, I wish I had peace with me because now something bad really happened. So one thing with me is that I keep calm because having peace makes you smarter, and it sounds weird. But whenever you don't have peace and you're angry, it's like you lose your brain cells or something, and you do things that you normally wouldn't do.
You make
But
mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. But when you're calm, you have peace, you think smarter, therefore you make more smarter and wiser decisions to kind of make the situation better.
Yeah.
So whenever me and my girlfriend would argue, I would kind of like I'm like, oh man, it's kind of, we usually don't, but whenever we do, I'd be like kind of getting into the moment. I'd be like, man, I get red, but then I'm like, I'm probably gonna say something dumb that I really
you'll
shouldn't,
regret, right?
that I'd regret because I've done it once and I was like, never again. So then I calm myself. Tranquility, just
So
calm.
how do you calm
That's
yourself?
perfect.
Do you take breaths? What do you do?
No, yeah, for sure. So pretty much just kind of like, really, it's like good whenever you practice it, but whenever you get mad at something, just start really thinking, like, try to make your brain work and think of things that could happen, that could be bad. I always think of the situation, like, at the end.
worst case scenario.
The worst case scenario, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, God, I really don't want to happen.
All right, hey guys,
So-
we'll be right back with this awesome talk. So right back with you. Hello, guys, and welcome back to the show. So I have another quote I want to share with you guys. It goes like this: "You find what you are looking for where you least want to look." So, Jose, I know you had an example, a little story you wanted to share on that quote. So,
Yeah, of course. So pretty much on that quote, you were talking about, kind of facing, I guess, if you want something, you sometimes have to look where you don't want to go.
yeah.
And that's totally, true. So, like, a good thing with me is, I guess, public speaking. I remember there was a time where I was very afraid and nervous, And I knew that I wanted that so bad. I wanted that, trait of being good at speaking to people. But I knew I'd have to go somewhere where I do not want to go, and that was pretty much in a big crowd and just go for it. Just start talking to people, kind of be open. So, like what your quote said, that's pretty much what it is. If you want something, sometimes you have to do the things you don't want to do in order to achieve that and get that.
Yeah.
So in order for me to be better, I went, I spoke to the people, and I just kind of opened myself up, and that's how I got that trait a little bit.
Are you referring to your theater arts thing in high school? Because that's kind of what
that's a whole nother story. I had to sing by myself in front of thousands of people, and I've never sung before in the crowds. I feel like after that moment, it was game over, and I was just like, whatever. If I did this, then I shouldn't be scared of talking to like 2 people. I was
and you know what you just did? You did this. You had the courage. The courage to be brave and do that amazing thing that you did, which is perform in front of a big audience. And if you guys notice, I brought a bunch of words, words that were created by students who I gave them a challenge and said, what word do you need to find peace in yourself and give you the excitement and the courage to move on and doing the things you want to do. So kids, thought of these words. I didn't give it to them, and it was beautiful to see, like free and respect. Some of them said, I want respect, so I got to give respect. So there's just all these beautiful words. And today, the reason I brought the words is because you have to also discover the power of words and how words can encourage us each and every day. For example, there's one right here in front of me that's fearless. Fearless. In order for us to have peace as well, we have to be fearless. If you really stop and think about it, it kind of goes with courage, right? And
so how so? What do you mean that you have to be fearless in order to have peace with yourself?
Because imagine when you're afraid. What's the opposite of fearless? Afraid, or shy, and that does not give you peace because you're shaking, you're stress is causing all these things inside your body, and you're releasing a lot of other chemicals that actually get you sick. So when you stop and surround yourself with positive words, you're actually surrounding yourself with peaceful moments, peaceful thoughts. And so it was kind of interesting to ask little kids from kinder all the way to 6th grade their viewpoints and how they interpret peace, right? So it's fascinating, and that they got it. I did not give them any of these words, which was beautiful, because I said, okay, I just want to know what you know. What do you understand from having that inner peace and joy to continue to be in school and not come every day with your maybe sad face or stressful face. No matter what goes on at your house, the moment you walk in here, I want you to change the channel and live your time here, your 8 hours that you're here, with joy and peace. So today's show, we wanted to talk about peace and harmony, and how can we spread more peace and harmony in the places we go. Well, guess what, guys? You guys are doing it because you already are trying to be happy and joyful and peaceful.
Yeah, I think
even in your own in everything that you guys are doing.
Yeah, if you're actively taking a stride towards something, even if it's just little steps, eventually you're gonna reach that goal eventually, right?
Yes.
There's a quote. I always bring up quotes. I'm the quote guy. But so he says, I've heard a quote. It goes like this: if you stay in the barber shop long enough, eventually you'll get a haircut. So, that's kind of the whole idea, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, as long as you're persistent with it, you will reach wherever you want. So, but back to what this word courage kind of reminded me of what Jose was talking about, where he conquered that thing. He sang there in front of all these people when he had never done that. He had never even, he had to have courage in order to do that. And then, next time he did it, he had peace. It was easier for him. Of course,
so you see how it's all
struggle.
connected, how these words are really connected. The other thing is, for example, something as simple as happy. Watch. Oscar, can we see the word happy? When we have the word happy, what does that do? Don't you think that gives you a lot of peace? Also happy? Where do I put it? Right here.
Something like that.
Something like that. But you know what? When you're happy, you're going to be at peace. Your heart is... Joy produces a sense of tranquility that you're talking about. happiness produces that calmness.
Yeah.
If you look at these words and look at the opposite of these words, then you're going to produce all of that. And is that going to give you peace? No. What's happening to a lot of our leaders, Mark and Jose, is a lot of them don't have any of this. They don't have respect. They don't have happiness. They don't radiate that joy. Even in the politics and in some of the things they're doing. What are they doing? They're constantly critiquing each other. They're constantly harming one another, trying to pick on each other. And instead of focusing on the problems or the dilemmas that we are living in, they're focusing on the negativity. So that's why we can't really have peace. And a lot of times when we're flipping to, or when I'm flipping to the channels on TV or on radio, it's hard to even want to continue to listen because there's so much negativity. Now, we do have to say the problems, face them, and come up with solutions. I like more solutions, to think more about solutions than just to sit there and complain.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I hope today we can inspire you to shine and find some peace, but start doing it with yourself. So we're gonna now share some tips. Jose, what was one of your tips that we were talking about earlier in the show? What is one of your tips that you want to encourage others to have more peace in their heart, more peace in their mind?
Yeah, definitely. One of the tips that I would give is, to calm yourself. Be calm. Whenever you're in a situation of stress and anxiety, take a moment to calm and really rationalize what you're going to do or what you're doing. So you could really focus on what's going to happen afterwards and if you want it to be that way. So just really calm and just kind of think rationally. Think a little bit.
So yeah, I think peace gives you sort of like control, right? It gives you control because whenever you're angry, you kind of lose control. That's why, a lot of UFC fighters, they say, the people who know about the psychology, it's important to stay calm, stay peaceful within your mind so you can have control of yourself. If you're going there all angry, you're going to be swinging like crazy, wild. That's how people get, do bad in fights in the UFC martial arts. If they're not controlling themselves and this situation and the outcome of, instead of focusing on that, they're focusing on their anger, right?
Yes.
So I think that's a big thing. And another thing I wanted to also talk about was on this list it says without growth, what would happen? So, I have here, I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say, but I wrote down, without peace, there's no growth, because without peace, there's war. Think about it within a family. If there's no peace within a family, y'all are always going to be clashing heads, never working forward, never cleaning after yourself. No, it's just all what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah.
It's a very hostile environment,
Hostile,
right? And
yes.
no, you can't move forward with that. So
That's
what
right.
do you guys think with life without peace?
I
Why
love
is peace
what
important?
you just said.
Yeah, no, definitely. Life without peace would be a mess, pretty much. Hostile, everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been to like a bunch of people's houses where peace is really not there. And it's like, wow, you could tell by the way that their house is, it's a mess, everything is everywhere. And they don't have time to really think and have peace to like not notice the mess they have in their house because they're always fighting with each other.
Yes,
So it's kind of like they
yes.
don't really notice what's around them because they just focus on, they don't have peace. And when you have peace, you know your home's going to be a good home. It's going to be clean because, you have
Your pride. You have
tranquility.
pride.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
and actually that was one of the words. I don't know where the word is, but that pride was one of the words
Pride,
that the
huh?
students. Yeah, I really think when we have that pride of who we are, pride of where we came from, pride of where we are in life at this moment, whether we have a lot or little, I think you just always have to be thankful for what you have, and as you're thankful, you're gonna radiate more joy. You're gonna also be more calm, right? And because you're gonna have all those positive things around you, then you're gonna feel peace, and that peace is priceless. You cannot buy that. You cannot sell it. It's something that you just have to feel inside of you.
Yeah.
And so with today's show, we want to encourage everyone to step back and look at yourself, look at your life. Are you in a home that is well organized, that you are trying to also teach your children how to handle the problems and the issues that come each and every day, the way we handle our children, the way we talk to them, the way we discipline them? Are you using a belt or a stick or something that you should not be using, because then what happens is you lose control of yourself and you end up abusing the child instead of disciplining the child.
Yeah, acting out of anger.
You're acting out
Something
of
I learned
anger.
from you is that you know, you would whenever you told me whenever you would discipline kids, or I mean your kids, I guess it was me, but so
Of course you're my son.
whenever you would discipline us, yes, you would spank us sometimes because sometimes we deserved it, but in my opinion. But you know, most of the time you would talk to us, right? It was the peaceful way. You didn't just because we did something bad. You didn't act out of anger. You know, you controlled yourself. You had peace. You said, "All right, that's not. I'm not going to spank them out of anger, right? I'm going to sit down. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to guide you, son. You can't do that, you know, because you might hurt somebody. Whatever the case was.
Yes.
You know,
Exactly.
with peace, you had control over yourself, so things could be peaceful. And we could grow. We can't. We're not going to grow if you're just beating me up every time I do something wrong.
No, and
you got
actually,
to tell me what
you end
I'm
up
doing
hurting
wrong,
the
right?
child. Unfortunately, you got to go on a short break, and we'll be right back to end this amazing discussion about peace and tolerance. Welcome back, friends. We are here having a discussion about how to have peace and spread joy and harmony around you, because this world needs more of it, for sure.
Definitely.
Yes, so we want to share with you some tips just to kind of summarize what we have discussed. Number one, we want to encourage everyone not to stress. The moment you start feeling stress, then you can create chaos, and that's not going to create any form of peace. The second one is live in the present, as we said at the beginning of the show. Enjoy life. Learn to enjoy it, embrace what you have, and be thankful for each and every day and everybody that you have around. Also, do not disconnect from love, because love is the foundation to everything. And if you have love in your heart, you're going to have peace. It just comes automatically.
It's like two and two together, right?
Yes.
That's peace and love.
That's
Peanut
right.
butter and jelly.
The other tip is learn to relax, because when you learn to relax, you're going to be more calm. If you do get angry, like we said, don't react immediately. Like Jose said, you know, he
Take a
wants
deep
to
breath.
argue, but then he's like, nope. I do the same thing. There's moments that I just want to be like screaming. I take a deep breath and I'm like, okay,
And
let's talk
why?
about this.
Yeah, why should you do that? Because it's obvious. You're not going to get any positivity out of, darn it, girlfriend, I'm mad at you. You know,
Or
you're not going
kid,
to solve
or your
anything.
child,
Or whoever
too.
it is.
Or your
right?
friends, or
Anger
your
is-
boss.
Yeah, you're not going to move forward. You're not going to progress, you know.
Yes.
It's just going to take you to bad places if you let it, right? So that's why the importance of peace, and especially during chaos, is when you
Yes.
need peace the most, right?
That's right.
Yeah, because
And I love, well, go ahead.
I know. I was just
Then
gonna say
I'm
real
add
quick,
the-
just because at the end, if you do that and you do something bad, you'll end up looking like the bad guy. You'll be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Not only that, can you imagine the people that look like fools? I know of some politicians, some teachers, some leaders who look horrible and some of the reactions that they had because they didn't have peace in their heart, because they let anger control them. And so I encourage everyone to learn to control yourselves and start by situating yourself in a peaceful place, so then you can actually radiate the peace and have the harmony around you. But the last one I put on here is what Mark said about continue to grow, because if you don't grow, you're going to stay stagnant, and it's going to eventually stink like stagnant water or dirty water. Really, that's how I look at it. People when we don't grow, we just stay there, we really start to stink. So I want to encourage everyone to read books like Si Yo Puedo, Tú Puedes, or The Fifth Agreement, or hundreds of books. But right now, these are the ones that I'm carrying with me, because I'm reading this one, and this one I was sharing it with my students again today, because Gabriel Nájera came to our school, and he's just a great reference for me to continue to encourage the kids, you know,
Yeah.
that if he can, you can. So discover the power of words, and that's why I surrounded today or brought these words to share with you. If you want to create some of fun words, you create them at your house, put them up. They don't have to be beautiful and pretty. It could be, if you are not very good or you're not a good artist, maybe get your kids to make them with your kids. I think that's even more fun. But they also have beautiful words that they sell out of wood, out of metal, out of, you know, lots of different shapes and fun stuff that you can put around your house, just like we do at the house, right, Mark?
Yeah.
So,
You know, that kind of reminds me of this concept of this man that I was listening to, but what he was teaching was about money, right? And he was talking about surrounding yourself with objects that he called wealth triggers, You know,
Yes,
but this kind of reminds me of more of like a peace trigger.
Yes.
Right? You're more of like these surrounding yourself to remind yourself, oh, this is important, you know?
Oh, you just said it. Say
That's
it
kinda
again.
funny.
We're surrounding ourselves with
Peace triggers, right?
peace triggers.
Yeah,
And these are
triggers
peace
of peace.
triggers that we have here on this table at the radio station here that were created by students to encourage themselves and encourage their friends. I'm going to post these out around my art class and around the building because I really want kids to be inspired or inspire each other. So it's time to go. We want to share a last few thoughts, Jose and Mark, and unfortunately it's time to say goodbye.
So, Jose, you first.
No, for sure. So real quickly, I guess since we're talking about peace, I know that one of the meanings for peace is freedom from disturbance. I know that. And so pretty much just real quickly is that, you know, it should be common sense that you don't want to be living a life of disturbances. So it should be second nature to want to strive for peace. So just go towards that route and your life will improve. I pretty much guarantee you that.
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much. I mean, he said it. That's a really good, powerful, you know, saying right there. But I guess what I would leave you guys with is just remember to stick with peace, because that's like that's the right side to be on, right? Anger is not going to bring you anywhere you want to be. Right. It's just going to take you away, further and further away from where you really want to be if you let anger win. You know, sometimes we have the habits of being angry, you know? You catch yourself, you're like, gosh, Mom, chill. Right? It's like, it becomes habit. You're like, whoa, why did I even have to react with anger? I should have just been peaceful and we would have been okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, remember that peace brings you growth and peace brings you happiness, peace brings you love, right? So just remember that, and every time you catch yourself being too angry or overstressed, remember, this is not going to bring us up. This is going to just bring us down and lower us. So
Yes,
That's
that's
my
right.
message.
A beautiful way to end the show today. We thank you for joining us. We also want to say thank you to our sponsor, Volteo, for making this show possible today. Remember that life is what you make it, and whatever you are doing in your life, that's what you're actually creating around you. So learn to live with love, peace, and joy, and live in perfect harmony, and learn to spread it around you everywhere you go. Let's be a light in this world and continue to shine. Till next time, we'll see
El
you.
programa anterior fue un programa pagado y las opiniones emitidas